Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our page. It's wonderful to see you all. I'm sitting down here about a bajillion kilometers away from my wonderful executive director, Jackie. We just wanted to hop on here as part of our new series where we are introducing ourselves to our community, as there's a bunch of new people here. Welcome. Thank you for joining the page. We're happy to have you. So we wanted you to kind of get to know us about who we are, what we do, and our involvement in restorative justice, as well as what it means to us. So the first person up to the block today is Jackie. Hello, Jackie. How are you?
Good, MJ. Yes, joining you from sunny Florida, a bazillion kilometers away.
It must be nice. So I will let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then tell us about restorative justice and what it means to you.
So my name is Jackie Balleny, and I'm the Executive Director here at Sudbury District Restorative Justice. What I do is oversee the operations of the organization. We have 3 lovely staff members, of which MJ, you are one of them, yes, and represent. And we have 2 other gals in the organization as well. And we work together as a team and sort of bring out each other's strengths and expertise, and we assist individuals that are justice involved. So specifically, we assist justice involved youth through a number of activities. Some activities are diversion activities, so programming focused for youth to divert them from the courts so that they don't get a charge. They've been involved with the police, but the police will refer them to programming with us, and we will work with that youth, and if they are successful, then the police will not charge that youth, so we divert from courts. We also work with justice involved youth that are involved with the courts, and the defense and Crown would refer a youth to complete some of our programming, and so that it may divert them actually from receiving a conviction. And then there's also in some cases where we work with youth who have received a conviction, and we are working with them to remediate and with probation and parole as part of the programming for a convicted youth. So that's kind of what we do, but it's still a bit of a mystery, I'm sure, in terms of, well, what is restorative justice, right, MJ? It's what is that all about?
Exactly, that's what I was going to ask you. In your words, what would you define restorative justice as?
So, if we just break it down in terms of definitions, restorative meaning restoring something to its previous form, and justice being, an outcome that has a satisfaction to the person seeking justice. So, restorative justice is a process by which the harmed individual, so when we use it in terms of court terms, the victim and the person who committed the harm, who we would in terms of court terms refer to as an offender. So restorative justice is an opportunity for the victim and the offender to meet together to discuss kind of what went on. So informally, I can phrase it probably as 5 questions. What happened? What were you thinking at the time? What have you thought of since? Who has been harmed by the actions? And what needs to happen to restore or to repair those harms? And so that, in kind of a nutshell, is restorative justice and a mediated conference. But that's not all we do is in terms of a mediated conference. We also do some upstream work, because often it happens, but frequently victims are concerned and don't want to be in the same space as the offender. And so we do offer programming to assist victims, and we also offer programming to work with the offenders directly. And working with the offenders directly, doing some education work and I'm not going to steal Pina or Celine's thunder, because they are our program facilitators, coordinators, and so I will let the next interview with those two wonderful gals explain what they do. But that would be our conflict management coaching program, in which they do some wonderful work working with youth to get them to understand their behavior, understand the effects of their behavior, understand things that have gone on in their lives that have impacted their behavior, and then working with them to repair those harms.
So definitely a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah. I mean, it's six sessions with our program facilitators, so they're doing a lot of work, and often the youth that has gone through that programming will often reflect and say, this was harder than actually just taking a charge and going to court and just letting it happen. That we had them actually dig into themselves and find out, what's going on, and to do some personal work. And then also, not only did they reflect that it was harder, but we are seeing in our statistics that there is less recidivism, big word for reoffending, that they get it, and that they are not becoming involved with the law again. And what that does also is it's building some community, it's building empathy, and the youth are beginning to see that they matter and they're a part of this community, and that as a part of the community they have a responsibility, for good behavior and to not hurt and harm others. And so we are seeing, great successes with our clients, and then as a result we are also seeing an emerging field of where we're receiving referrals from. So we are receiving referrals from schools now, because they understand that they themselves are also doing upstream work, educating and working. And then and myself, as a retired educator and school administrator, I really see the benefit of Sudbury District Restorative Justice programming to assist and complement what's going on in our schools in terms of managing and mediating conflict and disagreement, and in some cases some serious behavior incidents that become bigger than the school. And so our connections with community, with police, with social service providers, with the courts, we have this great opportunity to collaborate and break down silos and really work cooperatively and collaboratively with our community to it takes a village to raise a child. So that's kind of how I'd like to kind of conclude it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that, Jackie. But before I let you go back to that gorgeous Florida sunshine, if you could give everyone who's listening and watching right now one piece of advice, it could be any advice at all that you want to give, what would it be?
I think it would be empathy and understanding, because I'm going to give you a saying: hurt people hurt people. And if we understand what hurts somebody, and that sometimes their behaviors is lashing out at that hurt and not seeing the human being that they're hurting, and so empathy and community. If we can understand from an empathetic viewpoint that somebody's response might not be their best response on that day, and if they're given enough time to think about it, and with guidance with our programming, that we can resolve that conflict. In today's world, post-pandemic, we seem to be short-tempered humanity seems to be pretty short-tempered these days. And I think, we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to understand that we have been through some pretty significant traumas over the last 3 years. Not only navigating a pandemic, not only navigating lockdowns and fear of our own health, but also all of those kind of other ancillary things that have happened as a result of lockdown. and food prices have gone up, and gas prices have gone up. There's a multitude of things that we have dealt with over 3 years, and that plays a role. That has an impact. And so for us, if we actually look at it, it's shortened our threshold of tolerance, right? Our window of tolerance in terms of what we don't want to wait anymore. We want it, and we want it now. We're done with waiting. We're done with lockdowns, and that if we open our eyes and we can acknowledge that, I really think that we build that empathy, and then we become more empathetic in our replies, and practice the pause, and understand that hurt people, and we just need to take a breath and let our thinking brain connect, and help us make better decisions moving forward. So be kind to yourself.
I love that. That is amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time today, Jackie. I really appreciate it. And to everyone watching, go ahead and feel free to like, comment, and share. If you have any questions about anything that we discussed today, feel free to shoot us a DM, check out our link tree, which is in our bio, or head to our website, www.sdrj.ca. Again, this has been Jackie Balleny, our Executive Director, and myself, MJ, signing off. Have a great day.